system, the other half is attached to the trailer, right? So the part attached to the trailer, if you look at it from the bottom, that whole plate that's in the front, that whole thing is called the apron, like for cooking, right? That pin that's sticking down, it's called the kingpin. Notice that on the kingpin there's a narrow portion, like in the middle of the kingpin, right? That narrow portion is called the shank. So the locking jaws should lock around the shank, so that even if you go over a bump or something, you don't lose your trade. Okay? So now that we know the name, let's do it. Okay, so let's start at the top one more time. We're checking the coupling. So the first thing we check is the apron. Should be securely mounted to the frame. That means the frame of the trailer, right? Not bent, no cracks, no gap. And proper lubrication between apron and fifth wheel. So let's break that down. So no gap. That means that if you see light going through between the apron and the fifth wheel, like here, something's wrong. There should be no light, no gap, right? The other part. Proper lubrication, so you need to put grease on it so that you can make the thing turn, okay? Fifth wheel, it's firmly attached to the platform, not broken, no cracks, no missing bolts and pins, enough space for turns between the tractor cab, the front wall, and the landing gear. So let's break that down again. So that part about enough space for turns between tractor cab, trailer front wall, and landing gear. Remember that the fifth wheels move. This is called a stationary fifth wheel, but still we can move it if we bring tools and remove the nuts and so on. Between two guys can move it and slide it to another hole. Notice that there's holes right there. This is stationary. It's hard to move it, but you can move it. The ones that most trucks have are sliding. You have a control in the cab, you push the button that releases the lock, keep your trailer brakes, and then you move your tractor back and forth to move the position of the fifth wheel, right? Fine. So if we were to move the fifth wheel closer, that means that this space right here gets tighter, right? And the same happens here. The landing gear is like it's moving forward, the space gets tighter. You could move it so much that when you turn, this corner or that corner hits your track. That's what we're trying to avoid. Or the landing gear hits your track. That's what we're trying to say by enough space for turns between tractor cab, trailer front wall, and landing gear.
We need to talk about, since this is a stationary fifth wheel, we don't need to talk about...
Just for you to know, okay. This is a stationary, and the most common ones are sliding.
All of ours are water slide. That's what.
Release handle. So that's here. The release handle, properly seated, not broken, not bent, in engaged position, which means all the way in, right? And it's securely latched. Platform, that's the part at the bottom. Securely mounted, not broken, no cracks, not loose, no missing nuts and bolts. Then we get under the trailer, like you are right here, and we're looking at the fifth wheel, remember, we're still working on the fifth wheel. So from under the trailer, we look there, and we'll check locking jaws. No missing or broken parts, fully closed around the shank. And behind the locking jaws, we see the kingpin Securely mounted, not bent or broken. If all of that is fine, that means we can move the trailer. Okay? Remember the locking cross, when you look at it, you might want to have a flashlight here, right? The thing should be all across. If you see like a gap, like if it's not fully closed, something's wrong, something's stopping it from closing all the way. Trailer front. At the top, clearance light. Amber, securely mounted, not broken, clean and working properly. Front wall, in good condition, no holes and no missing rivets. Power cord connection, that means this. Check the wire already. Firmly plugged and locked in place. Airline connections, now these ones too. Locked in place, sealed. Locked in place, rubber seals not cracked, free of damage, and no leaks. Bless you. Sidewall. In good condition, no holes, no missing rivets, no missing reflectors. Landing gear. Securely mounted, not broken, no cracks, no missing parts. Fully raised. Support frame not damaged. Sand shoes. The support frame is open in the middle. Even this too. Sand shoes, present and not broken. Side markers. There's one here. They are amber, securely mounted, not broken, clean and working properly. Okay, under the trailer, there's a whole lot of cross members, right? They're present, securely mounted, not broken, not bent, no cracks, no missing nuts and bolts. The floor of the trailer is in good condition and no holes. Remember, the floors are generally made of wood, and if there's a hole in the floor, when a forklift goes in and out, it gets stuck in the hole, right? Hoses, we're talking about that. They're just hoses, no cracks, no cuts, no leaks, tight connection, secure against rubbing, sagging and wearing. Enough, slack, that's why they're hanging. This time for the sliding tandem door. The suspension on this, on most trailers nowadays, moves, just like the fifth wheel, right? If you look at the holes here, you have this frame attached to the wheel, the other part of the frame attached to the trailer, and it's locked in place by these pins. And there's this release handle to release them, right? So I can move this wheel, the position of the wheel, to transfer weight to the front or to the back, right? So, air tanks. Oh, let me finish with air tanks and then we'll continue. Air tanks, just like before, securely mounted, not loose, no missing straps, nuts and bolts, no leaks. Hoses, secure against rubbing, sagging, no cracks, no cuts, no leaks, secure against rubbing, sagging and wear. Again, the sliding tandem frame, that thing moves, right? So it's securely mounted, not broken, no cracks, not bent, no holes, no welds, no damaged cross members. It's got some cross members there too. No damage to the box, which in this trailer, in this case, is the trailer and the floor. Locking pins, once again, there's one here, there's another one back here, and there's two more on the other side. So the locking pins are all the way out in the lock position. The release handle here is securely latched, not bent or broken, and it's all the way in the lock position. Okay, we're continuing with the suspension. Notice that I purposely removed one whole axle here, so we only check this one. These are the spring mounts, the supports, this one, that one. They're securely mounted, not broken or cracked, no missing nuts and bolts, not loose, no welds. Torque rod, which is this at the bottom, it's not a spring, it's just it's for adjustment of the suspension. Securely mounted, not broken or cracked, no missing nuts and bolts, not loose, no damaged bushings. Leaf springs, which are the ones at the top. Securely mounted, leaves are not missing, broken, cracked or shifted. U-bolts, there's U-bolts holding the leaves to the axle, not loose or missing. Axle, which is basically a pipe holding the wheels. Securely mounted, not broken, no cracks, not bent, not loose, no missing nuts and bolts. Trailer brakes. So I see the brake chambers here. That means the system has to be in that area. First thing I check, air lines, air hoses. No cracks, no cuts, no leaks. Tight connection, securing and probing, siding and wearing. Brake chambers. No cracks, no dents, no holes, no loose or missing bolts, no debris, no oil. Sorry. Wrong. I was reading the wrong. Brake chamber, securely mounted, no missing nuts and bolts, not loose, not broken, no cracked, no dents, no leaks. Slack adjuster. Now, if you look from this angle, we can see the slack adjuster right there. Right? So, slack adjuster. No, let's do the push rod. I'm sorry, I'm going too fast. Push rod. Not broken, no cracks. Not loose and no missing parts. Now the slack adjuster. See, the push rod is really, really long right there. You can see it pretty well. The slack adjuster, just like before, securely mounted, no missing nuts and bolts, not loose, not broken, no cracks and no missing parts. And once again, to check the slack adjuster, 4 steps. Park the truck on level ground, chuck the wheels, release the brakes. Pull on the slack adjuster. There should be less than 1 inch plate where it connects to the push rod. We have to do that at every axle. Okay? Brake drums. So brake drums, we see them right there. No cracks, no dents, no holes, no loose or missing bolts, no debris, no oil. Brake shoes. Again, top and bottom. They're present, not broken or cracked. Good thickness, minimum 1/4 of an inch. Wheel. Trailer wheels. These are similar to the ones on the back of the tractor. Dual tires, right? So the rims, securely mounted, no cracks, not bent, no dents, no welds, no signs of misalignment. The studs are not missing, bent or broken. Valve stems, present, no cuts, no cracks, no leaks, and cap on. Lug nuts, all present, tight, no distortions, no rust around the nuts. Wheel seal, securely mounted, no loose or missing bolts, no cracks, no leaks, and good level. Dual tires. Remember, any position in the rear, properly mounted to the rim, no contact between the tires or the vehicle. Recap in good condition, 232 deep, properly inflated, check it with a gauge only. Even wear, no cuts, no bulges, no fabric showing. And same size and same type of the other tires.
Are you supposed to say anything about stuff being stuck between the tires or anything like that? Or the sidewalk?
When we get to the inside, yes, there should be something saying that. When we're saying no contact between the tires, cover that, but yes, when we get inside, I'll check it again, okay? Because I think I put that on the front, maybe not on the front. Okay, we're on the back side of the trailer. We're going to start with clearance lights. In the case of the design of this trailer, the clearance light is at the bottom. Identification lights are at the top. They're red in color, securely mounted, no damage and clean. Doors. Securely mounted, no damage, open and closes properly, and it's securely latched. Taillights. They're red in color, securely mounted, no damage and clean. Bumper. It's present, securely mounted, not broken, no missing nuts and bolts, no missing reflector. License plate. It's present, securely mounted, clean and not expired. Light is present. When we go around to the other side, we tell the examiner. This side of the truck is exactly the same on the other side, except so anything that's the same, ignore it. The only thing different here is going to be the crank handle. It's securely mounted, not broken, not bent, no missing nuts and bolts, and securing its bracket. Like I said, if you wanted to the exhaust system here, that's fine. Okay? You can do it from the other side. I don't have to do it. Okay, we're going inside the truck.
Go inside the truck. Go inside the truck.
¿Cuándo vamos a hacer el examen?
No, no me ha dicho. No. ¿Todos vamos para adentro?
Sí.
Okay. I'll stand right here.
Yep. Come in because we need to close the door. We're going to move the truck. Okay. There are 4 ways that the pre-trip can start. 2 of those, and I will explain to you that in detail at the end. 2 of those ways to start the pre-trip don't allow you to check the front. If that happens the day of the test, you need to review the things that you're missing when you get inside the cab, meaning windshield, wipers, mirrors, doors, and windows. Okay? Remember, that's if you don't start from the front, basically.
So if they give you like the door back or something like that.
Right, they can tell you start at the driver's side, so you did not get a chance to check anything on the front. Or you can start with the trailer. Same situation. Okay, so after reviewing those things, we continue with C. It's securely mounted, not broken, no missing nuts and bolts, the ones holding it to the floor. Not loose and well adjusted. Cab floor is clean, no obstructions, like cans, bottles, garbage that can get under the pedals, and good traction. Then we start the truck. Put it in neutral. It's always best to press the clutch. Okay, once it's running, we're going to start by checking. Remember, the same as before, top to bottom, so we'll start here, going down, left to right. So the first thing I check is going to be this screen. As long as nothing shows up related to voltage, it means it's normal. It only comes on when something's not normal. Okay, so we'll say this is the voltmeter and it's working properly. There's nothing, it's got the time and stuff like that, nothing related to voltage. Then we check the coolant temperature gauge. The normal temperatures should be 180 degrees, and it takes 3 to 5 minutes to reach normal temperature. So basically we're letting the examiner know that the temperature takes a while to get to normal, right? Especially in winter. Diesel engines are known for running a lot cooler than gasoline, so they take longer to get to normal. The next gauge is oil pressure gauge. The oil pressure should be between 30 and 60 psi, then it's working properly. On this truck, I purposely disconnected the oil pressure gauge because it's sending a wrong signal and it's shutting down the engine. Ignore it, just tell that to the examiner that the pressure is between 30 and 60 and it's working properly. Generally that should take 3 to 5 seconds to reach normal pressure, meaning you need oil pressure lubrication, right? Immediately. If there's no oil pressure, you ruin the engine in a minute, right? Tachometer, speedometer, and fuel gauge. They're all working properly. Air pressure gauges. Normal pressure is between 100 and 125 psi, and it's working properly. It's getting there, okay? So from here, we go down one level to these buttons and stuff. Starting from the left, first switch I see, 4-way lights. If I don't see them blinking here, I look at my mirrors and I tell the examiner, I'm looking at my mirrors and the lights are working properly. From this switch, we go all the way to the other side to this switch here, which is the light switch. Turn it on, it's daylight, we don't see it, but it's working properly. From this switch, we go to the one that controls the fan. Don't play with the positions. They're not going to give you, remember, any extra points just because you put defroster in. That's just wasting time and annoying the examiner. So make it blow as hard as you can. Put your hands over the vents and tell the examiner, heater, defroster, and air conditioning working properly. Okay. From here, we go here, steering wheel, securely mounted, no damage, less than 2 inches play. That means that if I move the steering wheel 2 inches, the wheels should follow. If they don't, there's too much play and something's wrong with it. Okay? Electric horn. Okay, if the air horn doesn't work, that's fine, but this is the control for the air horn. Just tell them air horn is technically with one horn durable. Okay. So, electric and air horn, right? Then we go down to these levers, left to right. So turn signal on the left, again. Looking at my mirror, I see the light working properly. Looking at the other mirror, working properly. If I pull it up, high beams, right? The other lever, wipers and washers. If the washer doesn't come out, fine, just say it. It might be empty. Okay. Going down to the pedals, starting from the left, which means clutch. Securely mounted, not sticking, not getting stuck, right? Good traction, less than 2 inches play. Okay? Brake pedal and accelerator pedal. Securely mounted, not sticking, good traction. Nothing about play on it. Gear shift, securely mounted, no damage. Let's make it shift, so clutch all the way in. Shifts properly. Selector high and low, working properly. Okay? Brakes come next. Make sure that I'm not skipping anything.
And you have to do all this from memory, correct? No checklist of any kind?
No. There's a lot of repetitions though. I mean, the wheels are wheels, brakes are brakes and stuff like that. Hoses are hoses, so there's 2 very critical parts. Checking coupling, no errors checking that because then they'll fail you right away. Checking brakes, inside and out. Okay. Okay, I'm missing the emergency equipment. In that red box, there's 3 red reflective triangles. Spare fuses. On my left side, on the floor, there's a fire extinguisher. It's securely mounted. It's fully charged. ABC for all types of fire, and no missing pin. Okay, so that it doesn't open by accident. Seat belt. See the right wording for that. Securely mounted, adjust and latches properly, not ripped or frayed. Okay? We don't have to put it on. The only time you put it on is when you're going outside. So you don't need it now, you don't need it for the backing maneuvers, only when you're outside. Okay? Okay. We need to wait for the pressure to get to 125. We're basically checking the governor cutout. So let me give it a little gas. You can help it, let's say, by giving it gas no more than 1,000 RPM, because even if you give it full throttle, it's not going to build up pressure any faster. The compressor can only pump what it can.
What are these things?
That's an emergency brake for the instructor. That we put that on for safety. It basically acts just like if you were stepping on the brake pedal. Okay, we're almost there. Remember, we're waiting for the feedback. That's the discharge from the automatic air drive. Okay, that's the feedback. I can stop or release the accelerator, and we'll tell the examiner the pressure is 125 psi. The governor cutout is working properly. Remember, you need to start at 125. Okay? If you're not at 125, so let's pretend that we were about to do the test now, and we were checking stuff, and the pressure dropped. If the pressure is not at 125, then we need to make it get to 125. So let's say if the pressure was somewhere around 115, it's not 125, so we need to force it. To force it, we press and release the brakes, make the pressure drop below 100 to force the governor to kick in, right? When it's about 90, should be good enough, and give it gas. So now I'm forcing it to get to 125. So remember, you need to start at 125. That's the discharge again. Remember, we're repeating it because we were pretending that we were not at 125, right? So once again, pressure is 125, governor cutout is working properly. Okay, so we're checking. The first thing that we're going to check is leakage. The test that we're going to do is called applied. So we're going to check the system for leakage when we're applying pressure to it. That's basically what we're doing, okay? So in order to do that, we need to set up the truck. So we started at 125 at the governor cutout. Next step, we're going to put it in gear. Second step, we shut it off. We can release the clutch, open the ignition right away. not the engine, no crank, just ignition, so that the